Ever wondered why the future, something so intangible and uncertain, can instill such fear in us? It's an intriguing question, isn't it? The fear of the future, or as psychologists like to call it, chronophobia, is a fascinating aspect of human psychology. You see, our brains are wired for survival. It's in our DNA. From our caveman ancestors who were constantly on the lookout for predators to us worrying about our next career move, the unknown has always been a source of anxiety. Imagine standing on the edge of a dark forest. The fear you might feel is akin to how our brain perceives the future. It's an uncharted territory filled with potential dangers. This is what we call uncertainty-induced anxiety. It's a survival mechanism that has kept our species alive. But in our modern world, this mechanism often does more harm than good. Now, let's add another layer to this. Our past experiences. They say the past is a ghost that haunts the present, and it's true. Our past experiences, especially the negative ones, can influence how we perceive the future. If you've been bitten by a dog in the past, the sight of an approaching dog might make you anxious. Similarly, if you faced failure or disappointment in the past, it can make you fearful of what lies ahead. Societal pressures and expectations also play a significant role in shaping our fear of the future. We live in a society that constantly pushes us to achieve more, to be more. The fear of not living up to these expectations, of not fitting into the societal mold, can lead to a debilitating fear of the future. So it appears that our fear of the future, while deeply rooted in our survival instincts, is also influenced by our past experiences and societal pressures. It's a complex web of factors, but understanding them is the first step towards overcoming our fear. And remember, fear is a reaction, but courage is a decision. But what happens when this fear of the future begins to rule our present? When we let fear guide our decisions, it can lead to missed opportunities. Imagine a bird too afraid to leave its nest. It'll never soar the skies. Similarly, when we let fear dictate our actions, we could miss out on life-changing experiences, on meeting new people, on learning and growing as individuals. Fear can also rob us of the joy of the present. It can make us so worried about what might happen tomorrow that we forget to live today. We might find ourselves constantly on edge, anticipating the worst and seeing threats where there are none. This constant state of stress can take a toll on our mental and physical health. It can lead to sleepless nights, a weakened immune system, and even serious conditions like heart disease. Moreover, fear can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. When we're afraid of something, we tend to act in ways that make that fear come true. For instance, if we're afraid of being alone, we might push people away, thus making our fear a reality. Fear, when it's more than just a fleeting feeling, when it becomes a constant companion, could be a sign of an anxiety disorder. It's important to recognize this. Anxiety disorders are real, serious medical conditions that affect millions of people worldwide. They're not just about being worried too much. They can cause significant distress and interfere with our daily lives. But here's the thing, recognizing that we're letting fear control us is the first step toward reclaiming our lives. It's the first step toward breaking free from the chains of fear and stepping into a future where we're in control, not our fears. As we can see, allowing the fear of the future to dictate our present can lead to a host of negative outcomes. But remember, it's never too late to take back control. It's never too late to choose courage over fear. It's never too late to start living, truly living in the present. So, how can we prevent our fear of the future from controlling our lives? Firstly, let's talk about mindfulness. Mindfulness is a simple yet powerful tool that allows us to remain in the present moment, rather than getting lost in the worries of tomorrow or regrets of yesterday. It's about acknowledging our fears without letting them dictate our actions. Imagine you're standing on the shore of a river, watching your fears float by like leaves on the water. You see them, you acknowledge them, but you don't jump in and let the current sweep you away. Now let's move on to cognitive restructuring, a fancy term for changing the way we think. It's about challenging those negative thoughts that fuel our fears. Ask yourself, is this thought rational? Is it helpful? If the answer is no, then it's time to replace it with a more positive and realistic one. Remember, our thoughts shape our reality. Sometimes, though, we might need a little extra help, and that's okay. Seeking professional help when needed isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. Therapists, counselors, and life coaches can provide the tools and strategies to help us overcome our fear of the future. But perhaps the most important tip of all is this. Take small steps towards your goals. Climbing a mountain might seem daunting, but not if you focus on one step at a time. Each small victory brings you closer to your destination, and with each step, your fear of the future diminishes. Let's not forget to see the future as a realm of possibilities, not a source of fear. The future holds the promise of new experiences, new people, and new opportunities. It's a blank canvas, waiting for you to paint your masterpiece. Remember, the future is not something to be feared, but an opportunity for growth and discovery. So let's embrace it with open arms. And let's start living our lives to the fullest, right here, right now. The future might be uncertain, but isn't that what makes life exciting? Embracing the unknown can be a thrilling adventure. It's like turning the page of a book you're engrossed in, curious about what the next chapter holds. Yes, the future can be scary, but it's also full of possibilities. Remember, it's absolutely normal to feel fear. It's a part of being human. But don't let that fear hold you back. If it becomes too much, don't hesitate to seek help. There's strength in reaching out, in sharing your fears and uncertainties. Here's a thought to carry with you. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. So dream big, believe in your dreams, chase them with all your might. Thank you for joining us today. Remember, the future holds infinite possibilities. Stay curious, stay brave, and keep exploring. Until next time, take care.